Hello, my name is Amy Denton, and I have a lot of information to share. I was guided to make this video because a lot of the visions I'm having, I'm not seeing in any other channel or ability to channel or see or perceive. There's a lot of information circling out there that I'm a little bit cautious about, given the timing and the way it's being interpreted by mass collective. And I've been through very personal experiences with some of these things I want to talk about. It has to do with ETs and engineering vessels to hijack twin souls and sacrifice them, or use their subtle bodies to power these, as like conduits, to power these bodies. This is not necessarily a video that is going to be something that is going to bring like, oh my god, that's amazing to hear type of energy. It is something that is very important, that I think needs to be addressed. It needs to be acknowledged by the collective, and I need people to really open their eyes and see what's going on. I've been under significant attack myself for even having the site that I do, and the information that I am gaining is very sensitive information, and I am being watched by not so nice entities, extraterrestrial in nature, and then also government officials, because of who I am and who I'm affiliated with, and why I'm here. I'm here to deliver messages. I am all four clairs. I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant. I have easily maneuvered my ability to astral project at will in real time and be at another place while aware and awake without meditating. I'm able to be lucid at any point in time, and a lot of the time I am lucid when I am needed somewhere energetically. As many of you know, I am Yeshua's daughter, Sarah, or the reincarnation of Sarah. I know a lot of people are kind of skeptical about that, but I assure you that I am who I say I am, and I don't need to justify it. I do have a lot of people that will back me on that statement, given the circumstances, how they were brought to me by Yeshua himself via clairvoyance, clairaudience, their connection to him, and them asking him questions and him answering them. About 2 months ago, I was on a Facebook page called Palladians, and I have met a lot of my soul family. I've reconnected with a lot of my soul family on this group, and various people. I had made a post, and I had channeled a lot of things for a lot of people. I want to say about 125 people had asked me to read them, and I did it all for free, of course. I'm not interested in money. I don't really have this I don't have this desire to gain a fortune in my lifetime. I need money to survive and buy myself groceries, and basically survival basics is what I need it for, but that is all. I'm not looking to really live on a fortune and be famous, or just the system. This system itself is meant to be gone. I don't my feelings towards the work industry and taxes and everything having to do with that, I have very specific beliefs and perceptions about it, that I'm sure I'm sharing with my father. I want to talk about something, though. I will go back into this later, but I want to talk about Some of the visions I am having, I don't know why, but I have this sense of urgency. Like, I need to put it out there. I need people to know what's going on, what's really going on, as there is a lot of information out there that is circulating that is not correct. Like they're trying to turn it into this like perfected, shiny, glowy experience called the event. I want you guys to know that there is going to be something of an event, okay? But like, I need you to be open-minded with me, okay? I need you to be open-minded with me and hear me out when I'm talking about this, because I don't want to rub people the wrong way or upset anyone at all and their experiences. I'm sure everyone has their own perceptions and experiences, but what I have been personally given and information is very important, and I'm getting attacked because I am trying to speak out and get it out there. I have been going through a lot of psychic attacks for this, and I'm risking my life here, guys. I want you guys to know that I am being stalked by government. I am being threatened by hostile ETs. They're threatening to blow me up in vehicles. They're threatening to snipe me out in helicopters. And I will go into more of that, of how the physical manifestation of that is already reaching their density, and I'm already seeing evidence of these threats, and everything that I've been told thus far has already come to fruition. So I'm going to trust and heed my own intuition. I'm not going to dip into fear. I'm not going to be scared to speak. They want me to be scared to speak. They want me to not speak at all. And I'm not the one that will be silent when this is affecting a lot of people. And the information I'm getting from my guides, my guidance teams, my light family, Yeshua, the positive ETs that I am associated with, who want humanity to know what is happening right now, I will be the advocate, the messenger, regardless. If that is dangerous for me, I want you all to be prepared for what it is that's coming, okay? I am not one to exaggerate. I'm not one to exaggerate anything unless I really feel it is of deep significance and needs heeding. Okay, so I'm going to start with the government, and since there's things that I'm having visions about certain things about the government and them spying on me, okay? I'm literally being stalked. I had a vision of an older gentleman with white hair and small glasses, and he had white hair, and he was white, he was Caucasian, and he was sitting on a government official laptop, and was looking at my Facebook page, and was looking through my messenger messages, and was basically trying to gain any knowledge on me he could find in my Facebook page. And then there was a co-partner that he was working with. It was a younger man, Caucasian, blonde, like dirty blonde hair, and he was biting into a sandwich. And I got the feeling that they were definitely watching me, and were hired to watch me by who I'm assuming is Illuminati, okay? Or the powers that be, the ones that are pulling strings in the government, okay? They wish no good fortune for anyone or any human. They want to enslave humanity, and they want to shut the ones up that have the truth. They want us to be quiet, okay? I've been having multiple physical encounters and evidence that I am most definitely being stalked. And the woman I've been staying with is also being stalked. We have seen drones. I live on an old military base in a 32-foot camper. and it's gated, and it's private property, and no one's allowed to really enter this property. Okay, it's like a fortress. Okay, there is a view in front of the property that is a two-way street that you can turn. You can make U-turns repeatedly, and we have had drones and helicopters flying really close over the property, and my guidance team is making me aware that they're taking photographs of me. And then before this took place, I was already being warned. I was getting nasty visits from hostile ETs that are earthbound, metaphysically, astral projection, and they were threatening me. They're like, "We're going to take your photos and then we're going to kill you," and they were like basically threatening me, and they're saying, they started showing me faces of people that I was friends with, and they said that they were going to turn them against me, that they were going to turn them against me and use them to attack me. And at the time I didn't want to believe it, because I was good friends with them at the time, the people that they were showing me, and they said that the people that they were warning me or telling me that they were going to use against me were very friendly and nice to me and wanting to help me out. So at the time I was just like, while I was hearing them threaten me, I didn't want to believe that, and I was like, well, they're here to help me, you know, I'm gonna stand firm. At first they were trying to get me to turn against this other woman, and I wouldn't do it. I'm not easily manipulated in that way. And so, like, without giving out her identity or anything, she was brought to me. Basically, Yeshua brought her to me under a series of synchronistic events. She had been researching RH bloodlines and the MK Ultra mind control victims, and how this program tracks certain bloodlines to utilize and gain control over. And like, basically, like, siring children, having children born just to be slaves for them, like celebrities. Believe it or not, they were tracked before they were born, and literally aligned to become their mind slaves and to be their proxies, to further control humanity. Anyway, this woman had been doing research onto this, and she had been talking to Yeshua telepathically and asked him, who was your first daughter, Yeshua? She asked him. And the next morning, she gets on her Facebook page and sees my Facebook post that I posted in Palladians, introducing myself as Yeshua's daughter, and explaining my template and everything that I am, every gift that I have, and my ability to channel for people and to channel the Ashatar Galactic Command and Federations of Light. I went into a thorough explanation of what it is, what type of information I am getting from these things, and what all I have delivered to these beings in messages. And so it was her first notification on her Facebook page, and she had just asked the night before, Yeshua, who is your first daughter? And he basically answered her question the next morning with my Facebook post. And she felt compelled to reach out to me and help me. You know, so I had been in a situation where I was getting a lot of witchcraft attacks. I was having visions of witches, and they were casting spells against me to attack my chakra system in my light body, and to also siphon energy off of me. And I had visions of the rituals that they were doing over me, or trying to do to me. Okay, so I want to give information about the ET encounters. Basically, I'm following a guideline here because I had to write it out. as it happened, and I want to make sure I'm covering everything. I have a lot of information to cover in this video. The ET encounters that I have had specifically, they were astral projecting to my space. Since I have moved here on this property, I have been having visits of like various ETs, and I have captured various UFOs on my camera. I have a lot of photos to share. I've captured so many photos that I no longer have space on my phone. That's how busy it is over here. And it just seems like wherever I go, there's UFOs around, and they're just watching me, and they're hanging around close by, and I'm connecting to them. It's really hard for me to speak about all this stuff, but anyway, I felt violated, as I've had beings, even people that look like government officials, somehow astral project into my space. And I distinctly remember laying down in my bed and just trying to go to sleep at night, and then all of a sudden seeing a camera flash in my third eye, and then hearing the sound of a camera click, and then I actually saw the beings that are taking photographs of me while laying down in my bed. And then I heard somebody say, "So you're the one who's using the violet flame. You're the violet flame torchbearer," or like you're the one invoking the use of the violet ray. You know, like basically just saying like they noticed me. Previously, I had been doing visualizations, holding the earth in my palm and blowing violet flames over the earth, encompassing the earth with the violet ray. And I set the intention that I wanted to transmute any lower density energies, and to transmute anything that is affecting anybody right now. I wanted to aid the planet and raise the vibration and cleanse it, transform it. And I was doing a lot of meditations and visualizations for this, to help aid the planet, as I was linked to the ley line grids, crystalline grid. I was chosen to be linked to these grid lines because they needed my energy as a conduit to be pushed into the earth. And I've had various instances where I was laying down. I was in lucid state, and my higher self, my goddess self, my higher body was being brought to a certain point in the planet, and I was blasting my violet ray into these ley line crystalline grid line points, and it was spreading, and Spirit was showing me the pictures they were seeing after I did it. They were like, "Bear witness, bear witness, bear witness." They kept saying it over and over again, "Bear witness, bear witness." And they showed me pictures of purple all over the place, all over the place. They were showing me purple trees, purple ground, grass, purple skies, everything violet. They were showing me, and they saw what I was putting into the earth, and they were all surrounding me, and they were like, "Bear witness, bear witness." And I was on fire. I was feeling so much flames being channeled through my conduit, and I know that it was being seen. I know it was being seen from higher realms and other out in the cosmos. They could see it. And this is why I started having these visitations from these ETs. I, on multiple instances, have accidentally made a spectacle of myself when I'm doing my energy work on the planet. Literally, in my own solitude, by myself. I've had people come in and just snap photos of me and just make statements. Like, "Oh, you're the one who bears the flames. You're the one who's doing this. You're the one who is using the flames to also combat." I was basically combating certain entities with these flames. I was setting them aflame. And I had an experience that I will not forget. I was seeing things through my higher self, my higher body, my goddess self, looking down, like literally coming out of my body. Remember how I said I was getting witch attacks? People were they were hired by the Illuminati and they were attacking me with witches spells. Well, this witch had somehow messed with my third eye to a point where she was just being able to just talk to me and be snidey and talk to me and brag about the things that she was doing and her affiliation. And she was bragging about they had captured two twin flames, and they were going to sacrifice them at this militarized event. It was I saw all these military shoulders. I can't even say it. I don't know. Mercury retrograde. Here we go. Like, these men and women were all in uniforms, and they were all, like, you can think of it like a chapel. Like, you know, there's two sides of a chapel, and there's rows of seats, right? Well, the rows of seats were sitting the elite, the global elite, and they were just sitting there. And this was happening at another realm. And I was lucid, and I was in real time, sitting upright, and I was viewing things, what they were doing. And I saw them sitting there on the benches, and then in front of them were two sides. On both sides were just like a marching army, men and women, and they just they positioned themselves on the both sides before the altar, this altar, and then at the very back where the doors were behind the elite, they were bringing in handcuffed twin flames. It was a pair of twin souls. And this man had glasses. The man had glasses, and he had like light colored hair. He was Caucasian, and then the woman had brown hair, and she was Caucasian. And I knew they were twins. I don't know why, but I just knew they were twin flames. And I knew what they were doing to these twins. They had captured them, and they had them as prisoners, and they were going to sacrifice them at the altar. They were going to sacrifice them. And she was bragging about it. She was bragging to my face, like in my third eye. She was just shouting. This witch was just shouting and laughing and bragging about how they were fixing to sacrifice these twin flames. Stupid on her part, because what did I do? I immediately contacted the Ashotar Galactic Command and Federation of Light. In that moment, showed them what was happening. I literally visually showed them what I just saw and what I was still seeing, and I telepathically relayed that to them. And I also beseeched the Archangel Legion and Archangel Michael, and I asked all these angels to be ready, because I was going to port them into this place that I just saw, and I was the first one and only one that saw this before anybody could do anything about it. So I warned the archangels, and I told them, this is what's happening. I'm showing you what's going on, and I need you guys to be ready. And then I basically told the Galactic Federations of Light what I just saw, and I telepathically relayed that to them. And then I pulled myself out of my body, my higher self, my angel self, my angelic goddess self. I pulled myself out of my physical vessel, and I felt myself channel and bloop into that sacrifice service that they were doing, or ritual that they were doing. And I shined this white light from my crown and my heart chakra, and I shined it, and I commanded it times 10 to 1,000 suns, times 3. I said times 10 to 1,000 suns, times 10 to 1,000 suns, times 10 to 1,000 suns. And I blinded them. I blinded all of those negative entities with this light. And then I channeled and I pushed all this violet ray. I was a flame. I was covered in violet rays, and I channeled, and then I used my hands, and then I pushed it on both sides of everywhere and every one of those things were sitting and standing. I used the violet flame, and I just pushed it, and I blasted them several times with this flame. I blasted them all with this flame. We're getting goosebumps. Look at this. I don't know if you can tell. Like, I'm having goosebumps right now. I'm actually getting goosebumps as I'm remembering this. And my eyes glowed gold. I was gold. My eyes were gold, and my crown was just white. And then my heart chakra was just white. All this bright light just coming out, and then I was just covered in violet flames. And like I was on fire from the internal self and to the outer skin of myself. And around me, I was just this bright pillar of violet ray. And I just used those flames, and I transmuted the heck out of that ceremony. And I blasted them. I blinded them. They were just so taken aback. They were just so taken off guard, taken by the surprise. They could not act. And I felt the entire angelic archangel legion poured in through me into this space and capture the twin flames that they had. And they just grabbed the twins and blooped out. They saved this union. They saved this union, and I was told that these twins are going to be very important for the future. Very important. And I was the one who saw what they're about to do to them, and I was the only one who saw it, and I took actions immediately. I acted on it. And I have been combating them this way. And the witches, I found one of the witches that was using her spells against me, and I did a similar thing to that one. And I found her home. I saw her home. And she made a mistake messing with me. Let's put it that way. I set her whole house ablaze. I set her whole house ablaze, violet flames. And I burned it, and I burned it. My eyes were gold. My light was just so bright. And I was just covered and just blasting her. The goddess, I was the angry goddess who was trying to make justice, and I was blasting her with this violet flame, and she tried to run out of her house. She fled from the premises, and I chased her down. I was flying over her, and I was chasing her, and she was in so much fear for herself and her powers. Whatever she was using against me, she was just so scared of what I was in that instance. And she ran from me, and I knocked her to the floor. I knocked her into the grass, and I set her on fire, and she screamed. She screamed at me. I set her ablaze with the violet flame, and I transmuted the heck out of her, you know. And I've been doing things like this. There was this one time where I was being severely attacked by not just one witch, but a couple of them. They've hired multiple witches. Like, they've done like a series of witches. Like, every witch they freaking hired against me, I've been able to defeat. I was able to defeat every single one of them, and they would just kill off. I literally had visions. They would kill off the one that didn't work. They would kill her. I had a vision like the one that failed. She was murdered in the car. She was murdered in the car, and then the second one had a daughter, and they killed her and then took her daughter. I heard her daughter crying. I heard her daughter crying, and I heard them doing things to this little girl, and I could not do anything to help that little girl. I could not. It's like this witch had already sold herself and her daughter to these things. I couldn't do anything about it. And so yeah, it's just like, it's hard to talk about. It's just the things I've had to, things that I was doing, you know. But I have been battling them left and right, and they were sticking things into me. They were putting implants. They were stabbing me with daggers. They were wrapping me with wires and rope, and they even put ropes around my neck. They were stabbing me in my hands. They were using relics of my past life self, of Saint Sarah. They were using relics that belonged to her to attack me, and they were using beads, and they were using chalices, golden chalices, with some type of relic. I don't know. There's 4 of them. They were linked into my crown, my heart, my solar plexus, and my sacral area. And they were attempting to. They literally linked these chalices to me to be able to attack me instantly and just do whatever they wanted to do to me. And they had these purity rings that they somehow bound to me or linked to me, and every time something would put it on, I would feel like they were fingering me, or they were putting their fingers in my moon, in my energy, and just molesting me. And they would do it to torture me. They would do it to like bother me and make me disempowered. They would do it to bother me, like just little stuff. They were just trying to harass me constantly with these witches and their craft, and I was constantly having to battle them. And they were threatening me left and right, and they kept threatening me, and they kept threatening, oh, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna snipe you out, we're gonna blow you up, an explosion, you're gonna die. And I kept telling them, I told these bitches, I was like, you're gonna die long before I will, is what I would tell them, because I know I am protected. I am Yeshua's daughter. What makes them think they're gonna take me out? What makes them think that? They can stalk me, do whatever they want to do. They're gonna waste their time. I'm too powerful right now. I'm way too powerful. I've got to go in. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. You know, I'm ready for whatever is gonna happen. I'm on guard constantly. I'm ready. Battle mode. You know? So yeah, I've had multiple visions of certain types of bodies are genetically designed bodies that they were trying to link my energy to. Like they were trying to siphon my energy and somehow power these bodies that they were designing. And I know this is, sorry, excuse me. I know that it's real. I know it's real because I saw it. I saw this theater. Well, on the outside it was a theater, but in the inside it was just like a sacred, like a mental hospital. And inside they were housing clones of torchbearers, clones of twin flames and light workers, specifically the ones that were the most powerful conduits. And they were doing experiments. Sorry, I can't speak. But they were doing experiments with these bodies, and they were linking them to light workers and siphoning them and trying to drain them. And I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm getting drained because I'm tired, or these energy upgrades, da-da-da. No. Okay, that is not what's happening. I had a vision. I saw it with my own eyes. What is happening, okay? What is really happening is you're all under attack. You're all unaware of what they're doing. They know who is all the light workers. They know, okay? And they have breached several twin flame communities. They have breached several spiritual communities. They're all in there wearing masks. I have proof of that. I was in Palladians, and I was trying to help a man in that group, and I was trying to give him advice and debunk what he was going through, and explain to him what is really happening to his body. And just for helping him, two other people were commenting and were trying to attack me. And they were like, they were threatening me. They're like, we're gonna use obsidian black magic against you. You know, like, I literally had to block this girl. Like, she was just, like, a demon came out of her. Like, it was just so bad. Like, the things she was saying to me. And then she was, like, laughing. Like, she was laughing at me. And then she was, like, threatening me. Like, oh, I'm gonna curse you. I'm gonna put curses on you. I'm gonna use obsidian black magic on you. Da-da-da. Because, like, just because my belief, whatever I was telling this man wasn't what she believed. And I exposed her. Just speaking my truth, and being the light exposed this demon and that was stuck in this woman. This woman was being used, and she was a part of this community, this group that was supposed to be high vibrational. And after I blocked her on Facebook, she sent her friend to message me, and he said that he was going to cast spells against me and this and that, and like, basically just making threats, like, I hope you know how to do all this, and like, and I told him not to speak to me, and nothing they could possibly do is going to succeed over me. And then I blocked him, and I waited I waited, and I knew they were going to try to do shit to me energetically, and they didn't know who I was. They didn't know that I was aware. I was aware of everything they were going to do. And I ported into their space. And as they were making these rituals, as they were doing these things to me, which had very little effect, by the way, they were far too weak for me. And I transmuted their whole thing. I transmuted the whole ritual. I did everything I could to disempower them, to disempower their spells. And I commanded them, you have no powers here. You are nothing. Your day is done. I basically just kept saying that over and over, and I just I blasted, and I set their whole space on violet flame. And I turned every object, I even saw the skull. I saw this skull she was using. I saw the voodoo doll. I saw all these things that she was going to use against me. And I burned them all. I set them all on fire. At the higher level, I visualized and I set them all on fire. And their powers were nothing against me. And so, yeah, that's what happened with that. And I screeched at her, and I commanded her. I used something that I channeled, something that I had already written from my goddess self that God gave to me as a tool. I actually want to share it with you guys. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. I want to share it. Hold on. Okay. Apologies. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's not this one. Hold on. I have it written down. I want to read it to you guys. Okay, and as I stated, I repeated this tool 3 times. I work often with 3s. Yeshua often sends me things in 3s, messages in 3s. 3 is my number. I was born on the 3rd day of the 1st month. My life path number is 9. Divide that by 3 is 3. I have 3 cats. I have 3 lizards. I have everything in 3s. Everything. I had messages from cardinals in 3s. From Yeshua. I have a lot of things surrounding 3s. I had 3 stones with Jesus' name sent to me, and it's crazy. It's just the amount of things that are happening. But anyway, 3 is my number. I am the Holy Trinity. I literally am. Okay. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, this is what I said to this woman who was casting spells against me, and I have used it as a tool, and I have shared it with my friends, my closest friends, and they have been able to use this, and they've sensed its power as I spoke it. I set the intention, nothing has power over me. No entity, plant, elemental, spirit, soul, being, creature, object, weapon, demon, tool of dark arts have any type of influence, power, manipulation, or effect over me. I am free. I am God, Goddess. I am presence. Nothing bothers me. No one shall dictate my life or tell me what to do and what not to do. I am a whole embodiment of violet ray light, and I am powerful. There is nothing in the universe that has more power than me. I am not helpless. I am not fearful. I am not attacked. Everything not of the light is fearful of me. Every malicious intention towards me fails always. It unravels itself and weakens every time. No tool, doll, or voice shall dictate or command its powers over me, for I am God, Goddess energy. I am God's I am presence. I am Yeshua's daughter. I am a warrior of light. I am a force of nature. Nothing can resist my commands. I direct energy away from me instantly as I so choose. I command everything, and they are compelled to obey and abide if they are not of the light. It is sealed. I am their authority, and all shall recognize me. All shall see my God, Goddess, I am presence. Nothing shall disempower me in any shape or form at any instance or time. I am the eternal source of my own flame. All dark tools fear me. They flee at the sight of me and are compelled away from me. They are bound to this intention and its command. They die trying to fight me or resist me. They burn stepping near me. They suffocate to their ends upon confronting me or touching me. They are bound to this command and its intention for all eternity. They cannot rise against me. My presence kills them. They are bound to this fate for all eternity. And I would say this 3 times. And then I would finish with, so it is. And it was done. It was done. This is how I battle these things. This is how I've been able to maintain my authority. I've been able to maintain my divinity against these things, and I have won every time. Every time. Okay, let me go over some other things that I have written down because I have a lot. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the bodies. These genetically designed or engineered bodies. I'm going to give you 3 descriptions of 3 different bodies that I've seen so far. Astral traveling and astral projecting to certain spaces, as I saw glimpses. This is what I do. If I see something of significance, I'm going to follow it, and that's exactly what I do. I meditate on it, and then I project to this space where it is in real time. While awake. I don't need to meditate. I don't even need to sit still for 30 minutes. I just sit there, close my eyes, and I'm there. I'm there. And I had a vision that this well, she's no longer attacking me, but there's this one witch that they had hired against me that was working for the Illuminati, and directly in line with some type of ET earthbound force. She was in a secret lab of theirs, and I saw, like, I literally felt myself in this body. I literally felt myself in this, like, Zeta gray looking body, and I opened my eyes, and I remember looking through slanted eyes. And I looked in front of me, and all I saw was the first thing I saw was a cylinder aquarium with bubbles. There was bubbles just bubbling, and it's a giant one. It's a giant cylinder. Think of SeaWorld. SeaWorld has these giant aquariums, right? Picture a cylinder one. And I somehow knew they had the aquatic ET race progenies in there. They had had 1 or 2 of them maybe. They had captured something in there, and they were using its DNA to design these prototype bodies that were looking like Zeta Grays, but they were also aquatic. So the body that they had placed me in, or somehow siphoned me to, I was able to literally power this body. And I saw it. I literally opened his eyes, but I was not supposed to see anything. I was not supposed to see anything, and they really chose the wrong person to try to link to a body like that. And as aware as I am at a multi-dimensional level and real time, and knowing like exactly what's going on as soon as I am being pulled somewhere, that's their mistake. That's where they went wrong. They chose the wrong person to do it to. Anyway, I was not supposed to see anything, and I was not supposed to open the eyes of this vehicle. I'm going to refer to it as, and I was not supposed to see anything or be aware of it, but I saw everything. In front of me, in front of where I was, where they had me like on this like weird like think of it like a doll stand, like you've seen like mannequins at like malls, right? Well, they had this thing that had like it would hold the body standing up, like vertical. It was holding the body, and I could see in front of me there was all these like weird alien looking controls, like they were just like made of like a certain like rock material, and like they could move it like how do I explain it? Like it's just so hard to explain. Like if I could draw it, maybe I can draw it. Maybe hold on, let me see. It's hard to explain.